Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for a new series, Secret Invasion, Episode 1, Season 1, Episode 1, Resurrection. And of course, this is Disney Plus, it's doing the Marvel Studio series there. Sorry, I'm a little bit rusty on all of this, and I'm also still in my echo chamber a bit here. This little den area that I've got set up for the studio here, it still needs to be filled in a bit. My new desk finally arrived. I just need to put it together and get the big screen in front of me and all that kind of stuff, so I don't have to wear these guys anymore when I'm, doing this because it's a little bit of a pain in the ass. Anyway. Let me take care of some business first, and we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, please hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can, hit that like button, the share button as well. And if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it every week. Also have all the links to my social media there and all the links to my pages over there as well. And also, this is a podcast on YouTube Music. So if you want to go over to YouTube Music and listen to it, you can as well. So I usually have a spoiler alert sign here, but I can't find it. It's in one of my boxes, one of the backpacks, something like that. I don't know where it's at. I'll eventually dig it out, but I haven't gotten to it as of yet. So for those of you out there who are wondering, spoiler alert, yes, I am going to do spoilers for this episode. If you haven't watched the episode, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video you can comment down below in the comment section. All right. So this takes place basically now is what they say. There is a comic that Marvel had done called Secret Invasion. Brian Michael Bendis had done this, and it was a good comic. It was a really good comic, but supposedly this does not follow that one. And in a nutshell, what's going on here is Carol Danvers and Nick Fury promised the Skrulls they'd find them a homeworld 30 years ago. Of course, they haven't fulfilled that promise, and the Skrulls are pissed off. Talos, who was on the Skrull Council, has been kicked off the Skrull Council, and there's a new dude who is, getting into all of this, Gravik, who is now part of the council, and he wants to basically cause a little bit of havoc. He wants to take over Earth. Is really what he wants to do. He wants to take over Earth and make it the Skrull homeworld. As we start off, Agent Prescott ends up bringing Everett Ross into all of this and telling him exactly what's going on, saying, hey, this is what's going to happen. All these different little conflicts that are going on around the world are not different conflicts. They're all from the Skrulls. The Skrulls are doing this. There are many more here on Earth than we thought previously, and they are stirring shit up. And it turns out that Agent Ross is not Agent Ross, but is a Skrull, and Talos actually chases him down before he dies, basically. The Agent Ross Skrull. And also, the Agent Ross Skrull had killed Prescott as well. So, yeah, we have all of that. Maria Hill calls down Nick Fury, basically telling him what's going on. And he comes down from Saber because it's that big of a deal. Fury at this point had basically written off Earth because of what had happened with the blip. With the blip, he, of course, turned to dust. He disappeared, Fury himself. That kind of made him think about things a little bit, and he really didn't want to be on Earth anymore. So that's why he's been up on Saber, building Saber to kind of protect Earth from all the threats that are, extraterrestrial, is what he's been doing. But now that he is off of Saber, and Maria Hill isn't answering government responses because basically, of course, they don't know who they can trust. Rhodey, you know, James Rhodes, aka War Machine, who is advising the president, basically tells him all of this, and the president's like, "Well, get them the fuck back because they're AWOL now at this point." So we've got the government after them, we've got the scrolls after them, you know, all this stuff going on. And on top of all of this, MI6 is involved as well. And we have excuse me, uh Sonia Fallsworth, who is MI6 in Russia, and she is uh well actually it's MI5. MI6, is that right? MI5 is the, if I remember correctly, MI5 is supposed to be the foreign espionage. MI6 is supposed to be the domestic espionage. But anyway, she is the head of the British intelligence version looking for the scrolls. And she has a scorched earth policy, as Nick Fury says, and she will do anything she can to basically fuck things up. So, yeah, so we've got that to worry about as well. All of this also involves Talos's daughter, who's played by Amelia Clark, and Gia is her name, and she's working with Gravik at this point. They're trying to get some dirty bombs because they're going to pose as the group Americans against Russia, or Americans for Russia, something, basically an extremist group, and they're going to blow up some bombs in Russia, some dirty bombs, and that's what they want to do. Uh, and a little side note here: scrolls are not affected by radiation. Radiation does not affect scrolls, so they can basically live in any of the many abandoned nuclear power plants that are all across Russia. So Russia does not, advertise where these things are, but these are where the scrolls are living, is around abandoned nuclear power plants in Russia. So yeah, it's a little bit complicated here at this point. So Talos tells his daughter Gia that her mother died, and that Gravik was the one that killed her, and we think that she might have turned over to the side, to his side, and really she doesn't. They're going after the dirty bomb backpacks, and of course, they're empty when they get to them. She had supposedly marked them with infrared X's on them. And when Nick Fury, Maria Hill, and Talos are going after those things, they find empty backpacks, and the bombs explode anyway within the Russians, Moscow's square there, Red Square. It used to be called Red Square, I should say, for Unity Day, when there's going to be a lot of people there. And Gravik poses as Nick Fury and shoots Maria Hill. That's how it pretty much ends, with Maria Hill dead. And I'm going to say this in quotation marks, dead, because as the real Nick Fury came up to her, she says, "It was you, it was you." And then Talos grabs him and pulls him away as she supposedly dies. But we've seen that scrolls posing as humans, when they die, they end up reverting back to their scroll form after a couple of, give or take, about 10-15 seconds. Nick Fury wasn't there when she died. He got pulled away beforehand, just as she was expiring, and we just pulled back enough so that she wasn't able to turn back to a scroll, if she's a scroll, which I think she is. Excuse me. The scrolls have been abducting humans, and they have these little, I should say, the bad scrolls, if you will, or Gravik scrolls have been abducting humans, putting them in pods, and this is the way they can avoid detection, is by taking over the identity of real people, and they kind of do a little mind meld thing where they can get everyone's information, their memories and all that kind of stuff, while keeping the humans incapacitated. So I don't really understand this part. In the comics, the pods were actually feeding real-time information, or feeding real brainwaves of their, the human counterparts to the Skrulls that were portraying them. This one, I don't know if that's actually the case or not, but we'll see what happens. It looks like more like the Skrulls just kind of touch them and absorb their memories. But then why do you need the humans afterwards at that point? Then all you need to do is kill them and they're done. And you could, I don't know. Anyway, especially since they're trying to supplant humans anyway. They're trying, Gravik is trying to start a nuclear war so that humans get irradiated and die off the Earth. And then, of course, the Skrulls can have Earth as a home world. That's where we're going at with all of this. So, is Maria Hill dead? We don't know. She was a special guest star on this episode, so we'll see what happens there. Same thing with Everett Ross. What happened to Everett Ross? Was he actually abducted by Skrulls? When did this happen? Was this before or after Black Panther 2? We don't know. Most likely after Black Panther 2. So that's where we're at here. This was a bit of a slow burn. I'll say that much. It's supposed to be an espionage kind of thriller series, which is good. I mean, having a non-powered, I guess you could say, Marvel series is good for a change. I mean, just having it mixed up a bit. That's kind of like the comics. Same idea here. And I'm kind of liking where they're going with this, but at the same time, I want to say this much: the direction of the episode wasn't great. There were things in it that I was looking at, like the shaky cam. Fucking get rid of the fucking handheld cam. That's 1990s. I don't need to see that shit anymore. There's steady cams. There's so many things. There's video stabilization, all that kind of stuff. I don't need to see shaky cam anymore. We don't need it. We're in the 21st century now at this point. Get the fuck off the shaky cam. That's all I'm going to say. Use some video stabilization. There we go. Enough said on all of that. Then there's just some weird editing choices for this, for long shots and stuff like that. Scenes that ran on a little too long for some reason. The basics of the scenes are there, but honestly, this felt very film schoolish. That's what I'm looking at it. And I'm kind of, yes, I am kind of nitpicking, I guess you could say at this point. But when you're a series that is going out to millions of people, that is a billions of dollars franchise, that's what it's attached to. I want more than a film school reject directing these kind of things. I want some a little more polish to my episodes, and to my acting as well. So there was some stuff that was off in the acting too, but and I attribute that to the director, just because everything else that was happening there. But anyway, I like where the story is going at this point. I just need a little more polish in the execution of all of this. So we'll see where we go next week. This is a 6-episode series, so it's going to be fairly short. I don't know if it's going to have a season 2 or not. Most likely not, because I mean it's probably going to lead to something else. But that's where we're at here. So, what else do I have going on for the rest of this week? Well, tomorrow I'm going to be off. Friday I'll be off. Saturday, I might move it to Sunday because there's just some stuff going on. Is going to be Saturday morning blast off, where I take the genre news of the week and any other genre stuff you guys want to talk about when we talk about it. There's some stuff that's coming up, of course. Sunday I'll be off. Monday I'll be off, and most likely I'll roll back around again. Actually, I take that back. Monday will probably be Is It Worth My Time, and it'll be Mrs. Davis. That's where we're going. So if you go over to suspendedfanimation.com, take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media there and all the links to my pages as well. With that said, excuse me, I'm going to let you guys go for the rest of this, the rest of tonight there. Thank you, everybody. I will see you again on Saturday or possibly Sunday. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may be abducted by Skrulls. They put you in a pod thingy. They steal your mind, and It's just a bad thing all the way around. Thanks, everybody. I will see you again on Saturday. Until then, oh, yeah, you know what? That's the other thing I forgot to tell you. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, please hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can't, hit that like button, the share button as well. And now I'll let you go. Thanks, everybody. I will see you again on Saturday. Have a good rest of your night. Stay safe, be well, take care, and thanks, everyone. I'll see you again on Saturday. Have a good rest of your night, everyone. Good night.